So it was supposed to be done about 2 years ago, but because of a hefty mix of procrastination and interest in other stuff, I am doing this now. To put it in other terms, whoopsie daisy. But then again, is there really anything I can say about DUSK? It's not a bad game or anything. It's one of the reasons why there's so many boomer shooters nowadays. It's just that channels that are way more qualified than me have already gone through this game in such lengths and details that I can't even comprehend or start doing. I'm doing this as more of a promise than anything, mostly just so I can file this away as being done. So, better get to it. So, is DUSK good? Yes, it's even great at spots. Originally, when trying to make a video about the game, I went in a completely wrong mindset, expecting something more closer to Project Warlock, which I played before DUSK. After learning up some of the mechanics way more properly and setting up the difficulty from I can take it to zero miedo, it became way more fun for me. Sure, I can take it can be a good starting point for any new player, but sometimes you just want to be treated like how your mom treats your dad. And to say the game took out the humbler from that choice is an understatement. In any case, the gameplay was satisfying during both playthroughs. The weapons are the most creative things ever, but they are well made and functional to their needs. Sickles to start with, which gets replaced with a sword during the third episode, pistols to add into the survival, shotgun for proper defense with dual wheels for both weapons, super shotgun for the extra bit of defense, assault rifle when you want to try and stun lock your enemies, hunting rifle for that extra kick, crossbow for almost breaking the game's difficulty in half when used correctly, mortar for tactical explosions, riveter for straightforward explosions, and a cigar. That gives you some health back. Got that funny S in it. Adding to the above mentioned weapons, you on occasion get some momentary power-ups. Rapid fire totem to make the pistols useful for a moment, grappling hooks to play Spider-Man, and super hot serum. Because someone in the dev team got bored probably. You can also use R to spin your selected weapons for a melee hit, or if you're feeling like playing Minecraft for a moment. But what's a boomer shooter without some enemies to shoot at? Missed, to make a cheap joke. The game is made, the enemy variety is plentiful, surprisingly with very little recallers. Only one that I could think of, honestly. Chainsaw lads, cultists, spitting balls, scarecrows to take a surprisingly large amount of damage, soldier boys, pain in the arse cultists, Wallace the Welder, Wendigos, which raised the horror theming of the game quite a bit. John Cleese. Lapcoat Larrys that kick your ass if you doze off for too long, whatever the fuck these things are, battering ram wolves, and of course, rat. I am most likely forgetting something, but as you can see there is more than enough variety. There are a lot of bosses as well, most of which you can humiliate with a crossbow if you know how to use it. And some which can humiliate you if your train of thought goes to think about Cindy Landau too much. I mean, it's natural, but that's beside the point. As for the story, it's told with some light hints around, but it's at least very well connected throughout the levels and episodes. Starting from a basement of far nearly killed by cultists and through the woods in the first episode, into a city and a facility in the second episode, and then into a trippy hellscape in the third episode, where the gameplay and style gets to really shine. The low-poly 3D style is fairly well executed as it is, but during the third episode the visual style goes to the 6th gear with how the colors are used. As for the sound, I don't have too much to say. The weapons are good enough for kick to them, the heavy metal music is fitting for the fights while the ambiance is unsettling enough. You recognize each of the enemy from the sound they make, and DUSK sound aren't that distracting or annoying. That is the most I can say about it. There honestly isn't much I can say about the game. The only real complaints I have is when trying to grab and carry something, it has a fair chance of getting stuck in the parts of level, alongside of occasional moments when your flashlight breaks. Yes, somehow Dusklad's feet can survive a several tens of feet drop, but the designer feels like they need to show off their horror chops as well. On occasion I question what goes with the enemies' heads as well. Besides that, got more nausea from one of the last levels, and the Dweller in the Darkness is a bit frustrating, but at least you can show off how well you know how to make the enemies infight without the Crystal of Madness. Besides that, the last fight makes me think someone decided to make a Silver Age comic book villain through the lens of modern comics. The point is, if you want a good start-off point for the boomer shooter genre and are afraid of wiggling butt with all ports, DUSK is a great starting point with how much content there is in the main game and available for it. I can at least confidently say it needs less wiggling about than when you explain to the purse holder where the $20 went. Starting off with Siggles that gets